Andre, great to have you here. And I wanted to talk a minute about the value you got out of our social media class because it's one of the things that motivates Karen and I the most. Because you took it, what was that, about a year ago or so, or
actually
more than
a little
that,
more
right?
than that,
A little
yeah.
more than that. Okay,
2 years.
2 years ago. Wow! And now you've helped out with the class. You have a podcast show. You've helped your own business succeed. You've helped your wife's wonderful dentist practice grow, and then you're also teaching a Spanish only social media for business class too. So
Yeah.
for Facebook. So
Yeah.
tell a little bit about your story.
Well, the truth is, Martin, I was doing nothing before. I had no presence online. I had no Facebook account. I had a Twitter account from when I went back and got a master's degree, and I needed to change that. I was starting to do more public speaking within my eye care profession, and I needed to get messages out there. And so then I started doing some local speaking, and I had to really get up to date with marketing and leave the stuff in the textbooks and get in with the new. And the social media program just really did it for me. From the minute I went into the class, you guys made it so easy to be able to not only take the class and listen how we traditionally go to class, right? But you're able to interact and put the stuff in motion.
Yeah.
And I did that. By the fourth week, I had a website. The website was getting traffic. I had my accounts were starting to generate engagement, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and then you helped your wife out with hers.
Oh yes,
you moved on to building a more of your coaching business, your podcast show. What were some of the things? I mean, you weren't even on Facebook when you started, right?
Right.
What were some of the things that were the biggest hurdles that the course helped you overcome?
Yeah. So, for example, speaking about my wife's practice, very busy dental practice, very successful and popular in the town. But the Facebook page had about 85 likes, for example. And so one of the hurdles was, how am I going to change this? Do I have to pay for this?
Mm-hmm.
And just every week I started building on my knowledge and all the notes that you guys provide and everything. And I went in there and I just started doing it. I just didn't think about it anymore. I just started to do it. And before you knew it, I was up to 200 likes and 300 likes. And now we're over 500 likes, which is that magic number everybody talks about. So yeah, it's just
and
amazing.
Now the practice is moving on to a bigger spot, or working and developing that. Is that right?
That's another thing. Before I started doing some of these things, we were a practice that has the usual growing pains. You're busy, but sometimes you have, you can't fill the schedule at certain times. With social media and the things I was doing, it just seemed like there was a big commotion around our practice. There was a lot of engagement, and so when we had an open slot, it just seemed like we had patience to fill it, and that you can drive that through social media, of course.
Well, and the thing to note is this works only if you have a good product. Your wife had a great practice, real loyal patients, and word of mouth over time would have kept building it.
Right.
But what this did is amplify it.
It does. Yes.
And multiply it. If you didn't have that foundation, we couldn't have done that. And that's, to me, the key thing.
That is.
You can't use it to just gloss over something that doesn't have a competitive advantage.
Right.
It's a way to amplify it. And that was so exciting to learn how to do it. And you also learn the importance that no matter what you do, not everyone will be happy. And in the class, we talked about how to deal with detractors or people who are upset and talk online. You've got to respond to them just as you would if they were in the front lobby. You wouldn't ignore them. And you and I know we see so many businesses where they just ignore the negative. We just looked up a dentist in DC, way too many 5 stars, reviewed nobody else, and 1 stars with very detailed problems that weren't addressed.
Right.
So, it's like, what's going on there? Now, it could be all legitimate, but are they enhancing a reputation or are they detracting from one? So,
Yeah.
this is important to understand this piece of managing your reputation on the ground and on the web that you really have modeled and getting and the thing I'm excited about is going into the practice, and you gave me the tour, is how you realize we got to get the whole team excited about
Right.
it. And when you give feedback of some of the success, it's almost like a morale builder with the team instead of an extra burden you ship off to somebody else to do.
Right. Yeah.
Any other tips you'd give for somebody that's starting out, of what, other than, of course, you're such a fan, take the course, but
Yeah, of course. Well, one tip is, like, for example, we talked about, we already had a good practice and we needed to. So the first thing is that if you don't have a good business, right, the first thing is you got to make the commitment to your business, or else what is it that you're there for?
right.
Right. Then when you do have a great business, this is you can get a marketing plan over a year's time. But if you want to get that marketing plan to become a reality in a short period of time, social media is it.
Mhm.
Because that's what happened to me. And I'm going to give you another example. So we talked about all those great things that what we talked about with taking the practice and taking the experience of the practice and putting it out in the community a little bit faster,
Mhm.
right? Well, I had another vision where I used to have my own business with an optical store that I sold, and I was trying to put a plan together to bring it back, right? Well, I had a plan that would involve 3 years of trying to put this thing together. Well, the motivation I got through knowing that I can connect with a lot of people really fast made me do this in just a year.
Mhm.
And that's just
Mhm.
something that I couldn't have done if I didn't have some of the skills that I have because of that class.
Now, the comment for someone says, "I don't have time for this." What's your comment for that?
Oh no! Oh, you got to make time for this, because the thing is, you can go and try to get online reviews, which I think I told you about this. That
Mhm.
you get a collection of reviews that will sit there or have sit there for a long time, but when you do it through social media, you're taking those reviews and they're actually happening in real time. So it's like
Mhm.
you have the best of both worlds.
Mhm.
And we're trying to attract people that are out there that love technology because everything is changing that way.
Sure.
And if you capture one or two people that are used to just train themselves to, they're good at social media, for example,
Mhm.
at marketing,
Mhm.
they're going to help you amplify your business. So you're not going to have to do much of the work. They're going to do it for you,
Yeah.
which is what I
Yeah.
love about it.
Yeah, that's right. It amplifies your great work,
Yeah.
done right. And it's the way we teach is how to integrate it into your business, so it's not something that's forced onto it, but adds value in the business itself.
And going back to not having time to do it, if you're doing it the old-fashioned way, I'm living proof of it.
Yeah.
It takes more time to do it because you're constantly going back and testing and saying, how is this going to work? What if it doesn't work? When you do it in real time in social, you get to see the results almost instantly.
Right. Versus old interruption advertising where your customers are looking to hide the button and ignore it. This is now you're getting feedback real time of what's working, what isn't, what do people like, and what don't.
And going to the other tip that you had mentioned, I think educating your clients, your patients, um, doing things to just, instead of interrupting them, you're actually educating every day. So you're doing the opposite of interruption.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tomorrow they're going to wake up. If you're doing a good job of educating them, tomorrow they're going to wake up, and instead of you going looking for them, they're going to go and look for you.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, great. And we'll put the links you're teaching now. Since you took it, it's branched off and you offer a whole Facebook for Business in Spanish.
Yes.
You do a number of others. You have a podcast show. You've helped mentor people in podcast shows, right?
Yes, of course.
You're doing your business consulting and service and training. We're getting to work together on some training as well. So what exciting thing. I mean, nothing more exciting than have you part of the ongoing family of graduates.
I have a warning for the audience.
Okay, give them the warning and we'll wrap it up.
The warning is this is highly addictive. Okay, this is going to, for example, Martin has a very successful podcast, and he and Greg made me want to have a podcast. So it is going to get the ball rolling to do some bigger and greater things.
Yeah, and you're doing great and getting good exposure. So thanks very much. Look for the links below and look forward to seeing you in future classes of the Social Media Management Certificate Program.
Great. Enjoyed it.